Hi everyone, I got question 1 for both chapters 1 and 2. Now, question 1 for chapter 1 asks, what's the bond line formula for open parentheses CH3, close parentheses 3, C, open parentheses CH2, close parentheses 5, CH2Br. Now, based off the options, we can tell that, and context clues, we can tell that they're asking what is the proper structure for the formula given. Now, I like reading from left to right, and I can see that on the left side, we have two ends, right? So there's going to be two terminals. On the terminal side, on the left side, there is 3 methyls, and in between them, there's like 6 carbons because they're connected to one that's connected to 5 others. Oh, that's connected to another carbon because the terminal end is actually the bromine. So in total, the parent chain that involves carbon is 1, 2, plus 5 is 7, plus this one is 8. So let's just draw. I drew it beforehand because I realized it takes a lot of time. So when we draw it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then connected to a bromine. And now remember, there's 3 sets of methyls that are on the terminal. We have 1 so far, so we draw 2 more. And we don't draw in hydrogen, so we just assume like terminal always have 3 hydrogens unless stated otherwise. The in between, there's no double bond, so we can assume there's 2 hydrogens connected on all the other carbons except this one that's satisfied with 4 bonds. Now, when we look at there's 3 hills rising, so when we look at this, we can see that C is the answer because they have 3 hills that are rising, and they also have the 3 at the bottom. Now this looks very wonky, right? It looks kind of different. That's just because I didn't draw it to scale. This would have been like more down. Now let's go over like why the other options aren't correct. Now A and B, both of these are wrong because they said that 3 methyl groups are connected to the second carbon in the parent chain. And as we can look here, this is a second carbon in the parent chain, and it only has 2 carbons connected to it. So automatically disqualified because of that. Now we know this one is the correct answer. And this says that like in between that carbon that's connected is connected to 5 other carbons, which is then connected to a carbon that's connected with a bromine. So that's like 6 carbons in total. When we count here from the second carbon, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, you have to draw an extra bond between the carbon and the halogen. We can't assume that the carbon is here and the bromine is there. So that's why D is wrong. And because I had recorded this earlier and I already marked off a lot, but then I realized I did it wrong, I'm going to refer to the book after. But question 1 for chapter 2 says to name the IUPAC name for this compound here. And remember, we go based off the parent chain first. So we have to identify whichever one is the longest. Now let's count from here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, this is the longest one in the entire thing. You could go from here or here, but it's still just 6. Now think of a hexagon that has 6 sides, hex. And because they're all alkanes, it's a hexane. That's the parent chain. So let's identify all the substituents after. We have a methyl here at carbon 2, another methyl here at carbon 3, and then an ethyl here at carbon 4. Now you're wondering like, which way should you order it, from here or from here? If you went from here, it would be 1, 2, 3 ethyl. Meanwhile, if you ordered it from here, it would be 1, 2 methyl. And the rules for naming IUPAC is you start from whichever has the closest substituent, like lowest number first. So it'd be like 1, 2, from here, hexane. And now, remember, we have 2 methyls and 1 ethyl. So alphabetically, the ethyl would come first when we're naming it. And the methyls would be dimethyl. So when we're naming it all together, it would be this. What's the number here? 4. 4 ethyl, 2, 3 dimethyl hexane. Now let's look at our options that we have in the book. Hold up. Our options that we have are A, 3-ethyl 2-isopropyl pentane. As we mentioned that our longest parent chain is 6, which is a hexane, so we can automatically cross off A and B because they both end with pentane. And now it says 3-ethyl 4,5-dimethyl hexane. Dimethyl, we know there's a dimethyl hexane. We know there's an ethyl. But let's look at that. They're saying ethyl is number 3. So 1, 2, 3. Meanwhile, this one is closer. So the reason why this one wouldn't work is because we want to label it with the earliest. See how this has 3, 4, 5? Meanwhile, 2 is earlier than 3. That's why we didn't go with that option. They're trying to trick you. So it would be D because 4, it starts off, it meets the one of the methyls first, which starts with 2. That's why it's D. I hope this provided some clarification. Thank you.